My name is Ken Middlebrook. I'm the curator at History San Jose, and today is a momentous day for our museum. Is that we're moving the historic Coyote Depot from its location, original location. It was built here in 1869, and we're moving it approximately 11 miles northward to History Park in San Jose. This is something that I personally had started working on 7 years ago to try and save this old depot because it's been abandoned for about 15 years. It was last used by the railroad in around 1960. And so it's been sitting kind of hidden away here at Coyote for 60 years. And so this is really a great opportunity. It's the first time that we've moved a building to History Park since 1997. So it's been a while since we've done this. History Park is, we have about 14 acres there, and there's about 30 buildings on site. About half of them were moved onto the site to make a little village, you might say. But now we're hooked up. We're waiting for the traffic to clear a little bit and the light to get a little daylight here, so we can actually move out on the Monterey Highway and take the trip up north. When Southern Pacific was incorporated in 1866, their first segment that they built was from San Jose to Gilroy. And so they had that segment built by the San Jose and Pajaro Valley Railroad. So this depot was part of that line, that original line between San Jose and Gilroy. And so this depot is actually the oldest existing depot constructed by Southern Pacific proper. Now, granted, there's older stations that eventually Southern Pacific would own, particularly like Santa Clara and Menlo Park. We're only 10 miles south of San Jose, but 10 miles back in 1869, this is like the boondocks. And another reason why they had to locate the depot here is for a water facility for the steam locomotives. And so they had the depot that provided the train orders through telegraphs, and also they had a water stop for the locomotives. You can't just move a building by just coming up one day and just hooking up your truck and going down the highway. We actually there was a lot of preparation that our contractor had to do. We had to abate the building because there was some lead paint still on the building, so that had to be done to make it safe for the employees. And also, there was a residence attached to the building that, unfortunately, we don't have the space for that at History Park. And so, we've been working on prepping the depot for over a year. And part of that prep work was to stabilize the depot because this is built before the Southern Pacific issued standards for depots. And so it's unique in that basically back in 1869, the railroad told their carpenters, oh, we need a building about this big and go build it. Initially at that time, they only had two rooms. They had the office and the waiting room. And soon thereafter, they built a baggage room. And so those are the three rooms that we're moving today up to History Park because those are the oldest portions of the depot. It's been a challenge because the building, once again, was constructed like throwing up some walls. And so there had to be some shoring that they had to do to stabilize the building so you can actually take it up the road because we don't want to have it fall apart, of course, as we go up to History Park. And so that's been an ongoing process for the past year. And so this is really exciting that we're getting to that point where we actually have the depot moved.
Cut that pole down! Cut it down! Cut it! Cut it! Cut it! go. Yeah, go ahead and start cutting that way some.
Hey, take them. Hey, take them.
Hey, you can't go too much because they're going to do this.
Yeah, because it's so short. Tighten up there. Good.
Hold on. We'll run this one dolly up. Is that valve open? About 8 inches.
Of lamb? About 4 there. Is that now? That's about 8. Turn it back off.
All right, Bobby, inch forward.
You take another pump.
We might need the other power pack, guys. tape on. Hey, Willie. How's that?
So we made it to History Park a little faster than we thought, but we're here, and right now they're positioning it into the site. Well, we had difficulty because we have the overhead trolley wire, then the tracks for the trolley that they had to go over and under. So it took a little time. They had to adjust the different heights of the depot, but they've made it this far, and now they got to a point where they can have to position it so they can pull it into History Park because they want to get within the fence line today. And so that's the plan, is that they're going to move it and park the depot here today, Saturday, then return on Monday to actually rotate it 180 degrees and then put it over its final location. So it's all exciting, it's happening, and they're busy.
My name is Roark Diters, and I drove by the Coyote Depot many times going home on Monterey Road, and I noticed that they were wrecking the old Southern Pacific freight shed, whose roof had caved in several years earlier. There was a lot of heavy equipment there destroying that shed, and suddenly the equipment raising it was parked next to the Coyote Depot. So I frantically made some phone calls to anybody I could think of that could possibly stop this demolition from happening. And I guess I made the right calls. Ken Middlebrook got involved, and along with several other people, countless people, and we were able to put a halt to it. It took a long time to get this to happen today, but yeah, keep your eyes and your ears open to what's going on around you, and you're able to save pieces of history. You really can. Thank you.
Well, it's been an exciting weekend. On Saturday, the depot actually got moved onto the site on the property here at History Park. And yesterday, Monday, we actually rotated the depot so that the bay window would actually face out toward History Park to make it more convenient for people to understand what the depot is and how it operates. So we're behind the Coyote Depot right now. This is the side that faced Monterey Highway, opposite from where the tracks were. On the back side of the depot from the tracks, Southern Pacific built a residence, a house, for the station agent to stay on site, because Coyote, believe it or not, back in the 1880s, 90s, was kind of a far distance from San Jose or Morgan Hill, Gilroy. So they actually built on-site housing for the station agent. They didn't tie it to the structure of the depot that was built in 1869. They just kind of like built a lean-to against the backside of the depot. You might have noticed that the depot is about 6 feet in the air right now. That's to enable us to pour a concrete foundation underneath the depot. In addition, we've built this area about 500 square feet behind the depot over here to my left, and that's where we're going to add a new room that's going to house a model layout to be operated by the Golden State Toy Train Operators Society. And so that's going to be a nice addition to not only the depot, but the park in general, because everybody loves trains. With the depot on blocks, it gives a great opportunity to look at the architecture of this historic building. The depot itself was built in 1869, and then in the late 1870s, they actually added the baggage room that we're in right now. The baggage room was literally added on to the structure. If you can see behind me, you could actually see where the windows were that were on the north side of the depot. So imagine that when southbound trains are coming from San Jose, that the station agent was actually looking through these windows behind me out toward the tracks. And to have the locations of those windows still here, it's just amazing to see. And so one thing unique about this depot is that it's built with square nails. So all through the structure are square nails that were used in the 1870s. Now this baggage room never had floor, which was used to our benefit for moving the depot, because the movers actually put steel beams through this area, and the dollies for moving on Saturday were actually right here where I'm standing. It's really neat to be able to come underneath the depot and seeing all the structure, because this is built in 1870, so this is all old growth redwood. This is something that you just can't replace today in 2024. History Park came available for the location for the depot, which is probably one of the best sites that we could do if we had to relocate the structure. Because here at History Park, we have about 30 historic structures on the site. Many of them themselves have been relocated to the site, including the Coyote Post Office. At one point, we hope to have a telegraphy line between the post office and the depot. That way we could teach the public about telegraphy from these two historic structures. The location we selected, this corner of the park at Phelan and Central Roads in San Jose, is that we have the 1215 steam locomotive from Southern Pacific, and also the historic Orchard Supply Hardware boxcar, along with the vintage neon sign from Orchard Supply Hardware. History Park, we consider this our transportation corner. We also have a stables that's behind us, and it's just a nice area to have this structure here, and also the architecture fits with the existing buildings here at the park. It's taken a lot of effort to get the depot to this location at History Park. It's now preserved and saved for future generations, but more work is required. Foundation is required, along with the restoration of the depot itself. Your help is needed, so please click on the link below for donation opportunities, because we really need your support to make this happen. In addition, if you'd like to follow the progress of the depot and the exciting opportunities in the future of the structure, please follow us on History San Jose or the Coyote Depot social media sites. Thank you.